All right, get ready for a deep dive
Oh, yeah?
into the mining history of Sassenroth, Germany.
Mining history, got it.
But no need to worry.
No.
You don't need to pack your hiking boots.
Look.
We're going virtual today.
Right.
So that means comfy chairs,
Comfy chair.
maybe a snack or two.
Always need snacks.
But still get ready for some incredible views and a journey through time.
Yeah, a journey through time.
All from wherever you're listening from.
From the comfort of home.
Pretty clear, right?
And what's fascinating is that Sassenroth, it isn't just another dot on the map, this village.
Okay.
It's got a mining history that goes all the way back to the Middle Ages.
Really? The Middle Ages?
Oh, yeah. Imagine knights and castles.
Oh.
But with pickaxes and iron ore.
Okay.
So we're talking pre-industrial times, and those echoes are still there on the landscape.
Wow. So the first stop on our virtual tour is, we're not throwing you straight into a mine shaft just yet.
No, no, no. Give you a little bit of a break.
We're starting at the Bergbaumuseum.
Okay.
First things first, let's visualize the Bergbaumuseum.
I'm ready. Paint me a picture.
Imagine walking into the exhibition hall.
I'm there.
You're surrounded by relics from another era. Mining tools, maps, photographs.
Ah, the tools of the trade.
And each one, has a story to tell.
A story, huh? Like holding a miner's lamp and imagining.
Exactly. You can almost feel the weight of history.
Yeah, the weight of those years. Now, are you ready to get a little bit closer to the action?
Oh, yeah.
Because next we're going underground.
Okay.
Virtually, of course.
Virtually, of course. Got to be safe.
We're not going to put you in any danger. Next stop is the Schauberg work.
Okay.
That's a show mine.
A show mine.
This is where you really get a feel for what it was like to be a Sassenroth miner back in the day.
Okay.
So you'll see the tunnels, the shafts. You can imagine the sounds, the smells, even that feeling of like cool, damp air.
Let me guess. No actual mining required.
No, no, no.
For this part of the tour.
No pickaxes for you.
Okay, phew. Safety first.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I like it.
The Schauberg work is designed to be safe and accessible.
Okay.
You can experience the world of the miners without having to swing a pickaxe.
That's good.
Or worry about cave-ins.
Yeah.
But don't think it's not immersive.
Oh, okay.
It brings those historical realities to life.
All right. I'm already getting a little claustrophobic.
Oh, yeah.
Just thinking about being down there. Those miners were tough.
They were.
Working in those conditions.
Yeah.
Day in and day out.
Day in and day out.
That's rough.
It was incredibly difficult and dangerous work.
Right.
The air was often thick with dust.
Yeah.
The space is cramped.
Yeah.
And that's not even mentioning the risks of accidents.
Right.
The Schauberg work does a really good job of conveying just how challenging that life was.
Yeah, that's tough. They did a phenomenal job. It's really something else.
I bet.
But hold on. There's a surprise. The steampunk exhibit.
Wait, what? Steampunk? In a mining museum.
It sounds odd, right? I have to admit,
Yeah.
that's not what I was expecting.
I know, it's a little unexpected.
Steampunk and mining.
Yeah, steampunk and mining.
How does that even work?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Steampunk is all about reimagining the past
Okay.
with kind of a futuristic twist.
Okay.
Gears, gadgets, that Victorian industrial aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
And it just weirdly syncs up with the whole vibe of the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
That mining helped to kickstart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm starting to get it. So we're talking history meets imagination.
History meets imagination.
With a side of gears and goggles.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a fun and unexpected way to set the stage for our dive into Sassenroth's mining past.
Gotcha. All right, enough museum talk. Time for the real deal.
Let's hit the trail.
We're not staying underground forever, are we?
Don't worry, we're about to come up for air.
Okay.
And a view awaits us.
A view?
We're stepping out of the mine and into the stunning landscape that surrounds Sassenroth.
Okay.
It's pretty remarkable.
Ah, sunshine and fresh air. My kind of scenery.
I know, right?
Much better than being stuck in a mine.
But what's really cool is that even as you're taking in the views, you're literally surrounded by the remnants of Sassenroth's mining past.
Real kidding.
You'll see these depressions in the ground called pingen.
Bingen?
Which are basically scars from early surface mining.
Wow.
And then there are the Stollen, which are tunnels.
Stollen, okay.
And the Schächte, which are the openings of shafts.
Whoa, hold on. It sounds like I need a mining dictionary just to follow along on this hike.
It's all right. We'll help you out.
Can you break it down for our listener who might not be fluent in mining lingo?
Of course, yeah. So think of these terms as clues to how mining was done in Sassenroth over the centuries.
Okay.
The pingen, they show us where they dug down, following the ore veins.
Right.
While the Stollen and Schächte, they hint at deeper, more organized operations that developed as mining techniques evolved.
So the landscape itself is like a history book.
Precisely, exactly.
That's incredible.
And to guide us through this living history book, we have a local expert named Karsten Trojan.
Okay.
He's our virtual guide for this part of the hike.
Right.
And he specializes in pre-industrial mining techniques.
Wow.
So he really knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm officially excited.
Oh, good.
We're out in the fresh air.
Yeah.
Surrounded by history.
Surrounded by history.
With a guide who's practically a mining encyclopedia.
A walking, talking encyclopedia.
Where we head first on this leg of our journey?
Our first stop is a small mine called Grube Harmony.
Grube Harmony.
Or Harmony Mine.
Okay.
Which is nestled on a pretty steep slope.
Steep slope. Okay.
What's interesting about this one is that records show they only extracted a relatively small amount of iron ore from it.
Really?
Just 247 centners between 1871 and 1880.
247? That doesn't seem like very much.
Yeah, it's not a huge amount.
Wait, small output?
Yeah.
But extensive mining remains.
Exactly.
That doesn't quite add up.
It's a bit of a mystery.
What's the story there?
That is the mystery of Grube Harmony.
Okay.
The Pingen and Stollen.
Right.
They suggest that the mining operations here were actually much larger than the records suggest. It raises a fascinating question.
I bet it does.
Could there be a hidden history here?
Ooh, I like it already.
Perhaps dating back to even the Eigenliner.
Eigenliner.
It's the independent miners who worked these lands long ago.
So they were like the freelancers.
Yeah, kind of like the freelancers of mining.
I like it.
Yeah.
Ooh, intrigue.
Intrigue.
I'm loving this already.
Yeah, it's a fascinating little spot.
Grube Harmony might have been small in output.
Right.
But it's big on mystery.
Big on mystery. Exactly.
And it's just a stone's throw away. There's another fascinating site.
There's another fascinating site called Grube Vereinigung.
Grube Vereinigung.
Or Union Mine.
Okay.
And here we can actually see evidence of both early and later mining techniques side by side.
Oh, wow.
So Pingen mark the early efforts.
Right.
While a deeper Stollen suggests a shift to more sophisticated methods.
So we're literally walking through the evolution of mining practices.
Exactly.
This virtual hike is blowing my mind.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
This is great.
We're going to keep blowing your mind.
I can't wait.
This is just the beginning.
Okay.
We're about to head towards the most significant mine in Sassenroth, Grube Peterschek.
Grube Peterschek. Okay.
But before we do, take a moment to appreciate the view.
Yeah.
This landscape.
Yeah.
It tells a story of human ingenuity,
it does.
resourcefulness, and the enduring power of nature.
You know what? I'm struck by how much history is packed into every inch of this landscape.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the mines themselves,
right,
but the story they tell about human endeavor, innovation, and the mysteries that still linger, and the fact that we're just getting started.
And that's just the beginning.
Wow. I can't wait to see what else we discover.
You're absolutely right. And as we continue our hike, we'll delve even deeper into those stories, uncovering the secrets of Grube Peterschek and its connection to the wider industrial landscape of the region.
Sounds good.
Ready to press on?
Lead the way. I'm all ears.
All right, let's go.
All right, we've hiked through some stunning scenery.
Oh, yeah.
Stumbled upon some mysterious mines.
It's been quite a hike so far.
And now we're headed
for
the main attraction, Grube Peterschek.
That's right, Grube Peterschek.
From what you've said, this wasn't just any old mine, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
So, tell me about this one.
Grube Peterschek, it was like the mining superstar of Sassenroth.
Okay.
It sits on a continuation of what's called the Schutzbacher Gangzug.
Schutzbacher Gangzug.
Which is a fancy way of saying a massive mineral vein system.
Okay.
That runs for kilometers.
Wow, kilometers.
Yeah, this mine was the real deal.
So if those other mines we were talking about were playing in the minors, this one was in the major leagues.
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
Think multiple levels.
Okay.
A main vein called the Hauptgang.
Hauptgang. All right.
A dedicated Maschinenschacht for all the heavy machinery.
Maschinenschacht. I'm writing all these down.
And several other veins with names like Streimler Gang and Hangender Gang.
Wow. So many different names.
Yeah, it's quite the complex.
And veins and everything.
It's a perfect example of how Sassenroth's miners moved from those simpler methods to more complex, deep mining techniques, what they call Tiefbau.
Tiefbau.
Yeah.
Okay. All those different veins and shafts.
Yeah. It was a lot to keep track of.
I was feeling like a maze down there.
It was a complex operation for sure.
Yeah.
But these miners were incredibly skilled.
They had to be, right?
Had to be, yeah.
to keep track of all that.
And speaking of complex, just wait till you hear about Grube-Helmenscoute.
Grube-Helmenscoute.
Another important mine in Sassenroth.
Okay.
This one operated alongside Petersek.
Okay.
But faced a unique challenge.
Okay. What's that?
It was perched on a much steeper slope.
Oh, a steeper slope.
So you can imagine that makes things a little tricky.
Yeah. How did they even approach mining on a steep hillside like that?
Good question.
Isn't digging deep shafts even riskier?
Riskier. Yeah.
In that kind of terrain.
You're right. It definitely adds a layer of difficulty.
I would imagine.
But instead of relying on those deep shafts like Petersek,
okay.
Helmenscoute used shorter tunnels to reach those valuable ore veins.
Oh, so they kind of had to adapt their methods based on the terrain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Adapt or die, right?
Right. And it had its own set of features as well.
Yeah.
The Helmenscoute gang, Antony, and Austauer.
I'm detecting a theme here with the naming conventions.
Yeah, they like their names.
Yeah.
Each played a role in getting that ore out of the ground.
So two mines working side by side.
Side by side.
But using different strategies based on the terrain. That's incredible. It really speaks to the ingenuity and adaptability of these miners.
Absolutely.
They weren't afraid to think outside the box.
They were not.
Or, in this case, the mine shaft.
Or the mine shaft.
Yeah.
And there's another twist to this story.
Okay, there's a twist.
Eventually, Helmenscoute was merged with Petersek.
Okay.
This kind of highlights a trend that we see across the region.
Okay.
As technology advanced and the demand for iron ore grew, smaller mines were often absorbed into larger, more efficient operations.
It's like a mini industrial revolution unfolding right here in Sassenroth.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And the shift was accelerated by another major development. Okay.
The arrival of railroads in 1861.
Ah, the railroads.
The railroads, right.
Everyone loves a good railroad story.
They changed everything.
Yeah, so how did they affect things in Sassenroth?
This new mode of transportation, it wasn't just about moving goods.
Right.
It was about connecting markets, bringing in investments, and transforming Sassenroth from a quiet village into a bustling mining hub.
Wow. So the railroads weren't just tracks.
They were not.
They were pathways to progress.
Pathways to progress, exactly.
You like it.
And speaking of progress, we can't talk about Sassenroth's mining history without mentioning a prominent family, the Remys.
Ooh, a family dynasty.
A family dynasty, yeah.
This is getting juicy. Tell me more.
Well, Wilhelm Remy, a mining entrepreneur from the 18th century.
Okay.
He was a major player in the region.
All right.
He owned what was called the Vendener Hut. The renowned ironworks known for its cutting-edge techniques and high-quality iron. So they were like the Apple of ironworks back then.
You could say that, yeah, very high-quality stuff.
That's cool.
It even supplied materials to the Rasselstein ironwork.
Rasselstein.
Another significant industrial operation.
So safe to say that the Remys and their Vendener Hut were a pretty big deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They were major forces in the industrial development of the entire region.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Their influence extended far beyond Sassenroth.
So we've got booming mines, powerful family dynasty, a network of ironworks and railroads.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
Sounds like Sassenroth was on top of the world.
They were riding high.
Yeah, but I have a feeling this story...
Every story has a turn.
Doesn't end on a completely happy note, does it?
You're right. Even the most prosperous industries can face challenges.
Of course.
And by the late 19th century, Sassenroth's mining boom started to fade.
Oh, no.
Or reserves began to dwindle. Competition from other mining areas intensified.
Right, so the good times...
The good times don't last forever.
Don't last forever.
Grube Petersek, for example, it hit its peak production in 1881.
Okay.
Extracting over 15,000 tons of ore.
15,000? Wow.
Yeah, but just a year later, production plummeted.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Wow, it's a classic boom and bust cycle.
Yeah, it happens.
Unfortunately, it happens a lot. And as our virtual hike comes to an end, we find ourselves back where we started at the Bergbaumuseum.
Full circle.
It feels fitting, don't you think?
It does. We've come full circle. The Bergbaumuseum also focuses on hands-on learning.
Especially for the younger generation.
Like the Kindermalen Bergbau program.
Children paint mining, right?
Yeah, it encourages kids to express themselves through art, connect with the subject.
Instead of just reading about it, they get to create.
To those Forscher camps, the researcher camps, kids get to spend days immersed in mining and geology.
Little explorers in the making.
I bet they love those camps. What do they do?
They explore the forests, search for minerals, find old mining relics.
Like those stolen in Pinyin we talked about.
Exactly. And they even do a GPS-guided treasure hunt.
A treasure hunt? That sounds like so much fun.
It combines history, science, the outdoors, all in one.
And of course, we can't forget the birthday parties.
The Kindergeburtstag, a mining-themed birthday bash.
Who wouldn't want that? Imagine a bunch of kids running around having a blast.
It's pretty popular. They have a treasure hunt through the museum and the walk-through mine.
A treasure hunt in a mine. Sign me up.
It's all about solving riddles, following clues.
So they got to use their brains.
And there's a mutt probe along the way.
A test of courage. Ooh, sounds spooky.
Nothing too scary, just a little challenge for the kids.
I bet they love it. The excitement, the mystery.
And after all that exploring, they have a little break, snacks and drinks. Got to refuel for more mining fun.
What comes next?
They get to examine minerals under microscopes.
Wow, seeing the tiny details.
It's a whole new world up close.
And to wrap things up,
stories and a final riddle.
What kind of stories?
Oh, there's the unglaubliche Geschichte about a girl and a 1,000-meter shaft.
The incredible story, huh?
And then the lustige Geschichte about some funny chicks.
The funny story, okay, I'm intrigued.
The museum knows how to make learning fun no matter your age.
That's what makes this place so special. It's not just a museum, it's a living testament to mining.
And the people who made it happen.
It's where the past meets the present.
And the future.
Speaking of the future, let's talk about technology.
Okay, time to get futuristic.
Augmented reality, artificial intelligence, the possibilities are endless.
Imagine putting on AR glasses.
Okay, I'm putting them on.
And suddenly you're transported back to the Petersek in its prime.
Whoa, I can see it, the miners, the machinery, everything's moving.
Like stepping into a time machine.
And I bet I could talk to those virtual miners, ask them questions.
Imagine having a chat with Wilhelm Remy himself.
Or hearing firsthand accounts from the miners about life underground.
It's history coming alive.
And not just recreating scenes. Imagine using AR to overlay historical maps on the landscape.
So you could see those ox cart routes, the Hohenweg, right where they were?
It would be like peeling back time, revealing those connections.
And you could even do virtual excavations.
Like I'm holding a virtual pickaxe, digging, and boom, I find an ancient tool.
It would be like touching the past.
And what about combining AR with AI?
Now you're talking. Personalized museum experiences tailored to your interests.
So if I'm fascinated by the Wendener Hut,
AI could create a custom tour just for you, showing you all the details.
It's like having a personal guide through history.
And it could even analyze historical records, create virtual representations of families like the Remys.
So you could see their lives, their businesses, how they shaped the region.
It's like stepping into a history book.
And AI could even adjust the experience based on your preferences.
It's a two-way conversation, an interactive dialogue with the past.
The possibilities are mind-blowing.
It's about moving beyond those static displays.
Creating something dynamic, immersive, something that sparks curiosity.
Making the past relevant and accessible for everyone.
Maybe one day we'll experience the Bergbaumuseum through virtual reality, walk those streets as they were.
Feel the cobblestones, hear the echoes of the past.
That's a future I can get behind.
It's exciting to think about.
So we've traveled through time, explored hidden depths, even imagined the future, but our deep dive isn't over yet.
There's more to come.
Stay tuned. Because next, we're getting to the heart of what makes this museum so special. Its dedication to preserving this legacy and inspiring future generations. It's amazing, isn't it? Walking this trail, you really feel how mining shaped Sassenroth. Like it's part of the DNA of this place.
Absolutely. It's not just something that happened here. It's woven into everything, the landscape, the stories.
Back at the museum, we saw those Pinyin, but out here,
it's different, right?
They're not just pictures anymore, they're real.
You see those depressions.
You realize how long people have been working this land.
It's humbling, in a way.
I used to think, oh, neat geological formations, but now
you know the story behind them.
It's like echoes of all that effort, the ambition, the struggle.
That's the power of this museum. It connects you to the human side of things.
And those tunnels, those stolen.
Yeah, what about them?
Standing there, knowing miners walked those same paths.
Centuries ago.
It's kind of spooky, but also
it's perfect.
You can almost feel the presence of those miners.
And the stories. Imagine the things they saw, the things they talked about.
The songs they sang, maybe?
It's all part of the heritage, the intangible stuff the museum is trying to preserve.
It's more than just the objects. It's the feeling, the atmosphere.
Exactly.
And the Remy family, their story is a big part of this, too.
Oh, yeah, they weren't just miners.
They were businessmen, innovators.
They created jobs, built an empire.
And the museum helps us understand that their impact on the region, on Germany as a whole.
It's a microcosm of a much bigger story.
It's interesting to think about the closure of those mines, like the Peter Sek.
It wasn't really an ending, was it?
More like a transformation.
From extraction to preservation, from industry to heritage.
And the Bergbaumuseum is at the center of it all.
Leading the way.
It's like they're saying, this industry had its time, now it's our turn to tell its story.
To keep the memory alive.
And make sure future generations understand the impact mining had.
On this region, on the world.
It's like this whole area has become a living museum.
Yeah. With the Bergbaumuseum as the heart.
It's breathing life into those remnants of the past.
It's amazing how museums can do that, connect us to the past, shape how we see things.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Time flies when you're having fun with history.
I think the takeaway is this. History's everywhere, just waiting to be discovered.
It's not just in museums, it's in the landscapes, the stories, the objects around us.
And sometimes all it takes is a little curiosity, a willingness to look closer, to ask questions.
To make those connections.
So to our listeners out there, take a look around your own backyard, maybe visit a local museum.
You never know what you might find.
Happy exploring, everyone.